Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Scar and today we're doing something a little different to my usual art vlogs. I've been seeing these videos floating around on YouTube regarding Pinterest OC challenge, and I believe the idea was originally thought up by Emma Artley. She's where I got this list from, and her info will be in the description in case you want to watch her version of this challenge too. I really enjoyed watching people create characters, and the fact that these are based on random generators and what Pinterest would populate in your specific search, I thought I would also give it a try. Plus, it's a good exercise in creating stuff outside of your usual thought patterns. Although reading back through the list, I realized after I had finished the drawings that I definitely didn't follow the prompts exactly. I did complete a lot of it to the expectation, but I let the drawing process kind of take over at some point, and I didn't really draw the location fully. But seeing as this challenge is to create characters, I don't think it will make or break the end result, to be honest. Overall, I learned from it, I had a lot of fun, and I designed some characters in a story that I love, and I hope you like them too. Now, onto the inspiration. For the time period, I got the 90s, which was a lucky roll. Honestly, I love 90s clothing and styles. The setting really fit into this well. Honestly, it's kind of an easy one. A 90s coffee shop, there's a common thread there that a lot of people I'm sure are going to think of, and one of the references I got for one of the characters is actually from that TV show, so it was a little hard to avoid, and I had to decide if I wanted to lean into the Friends theme or stay away from it. But yeah, for our first OC, we have Joey. Again, another Friends reference, which was unintentional, but I did a name generator thing and that's what came up. I had to search 90s albums on Pinterest, and whatever the first result lead singer's gender is, that is also supposed to be your character's gender. I did the same search for first results of 90s skin, hair, outfits, body type, build, accessories, and shoes. Since we're making two different characters for this video, I did alter the wording of the search prompts slightly for both characters so I could bring up some different results for each and not have the same prompts to work off of, but I'll share all of the second character's references when I start drawing her. There wasn't really any prompts or requirements for the character personalities or the story behind them, so I mostly relied on the feelings or the ideas that came up as I drew them. I did debate just finding another generator for that part, but I think that had the potential to clash with the overall design of the characters together, and I like the ideas that I came up with in the end anyway. Now, as for Joey, I had this idea that she was more introverted and a polite, kind person. She works in kind of an office space, a typical 9-to-5 that feels very monotonous to most people, but really stable and reliable to her. She thrives off that structure and routine, and she can come across a little bit serious, cold-shouldered, but warms up to people over time. She doesn't spend a lot of time hanging out at the coffee shop or mingling with other people there, but she is consistently showing up each day before work to order just a plain black coffee to go without fail. She is definitely a creature of habit and doesn't alter her routine unless she's forced to or there's outside factors. She definitely strikes me as more of a logical thinking person rather than a creative person. She likes numbers, she likes routine, she likes structure. It's just very by the book kind of lady, you know? I had a lot of fun drawing her. I think that at first I was kind of worried that she'd be a boring character to look at. She's very simple, but the outfit kind of gave a little bit more. I think having her in that leather dress was not something that it was not easy to color in, I will say that. I don't paint leather very much, so it was kind of hard getting that across, but I think it turned out okay. I originally was going to go with that warmer color because of the color palette that I had, but I kind of threw the color palette out at some point, and I just went with the colors that I thought worked better. I still think that overall, the colors work together, and they kind of work in tandem to the color palette that I had, but I didn't completely stick to the color palette. For our second character, her name is Maria, And she's one of the baristas at the coffee shop that Joey goes to every morning and is one of those people who can just make friends anywhere she goes. She's very bubbly, outgoing, and like pretty much the complete opposite of Joey's usual stoicism, and Joey's a bit envious of Maria's ability to kind of get people to open up around her and how easy it is for her to just strike a conversation with anyone. Joey even finds herself victim to it time to time and lands herself in small talk she never intended to have, but she doesn't leave the conversation completely hating it, you know? Maria loves reading, always has a book with her, and I feel like her dream would be to open a thrifted bookshop someday. She likes to write quotes and little poems on Joey's coffee cup and recommends literature to her all the time. And I feel like Joey doesn't tell her at first, but she definitely goes and reads every one of those recommendations eventually. I like to imagine the way they start interacting is propelled by Maria's vibrant interest in Joey. She's such an outgoing character and makes Joey like her personal project, starting with little jabs at her drink order and then going out of her way to like try and make her try something else that isn't just plain coffee. Joey definitely finds her kind of annoying at first with all the efforts to make conversation and like pry into her life and her interests. But after a while, she finds herself looking for Maria each time she goes in, and Maria has kind of become part of her routine. And she finds the days that when Maria isn't working, they're like unsettling a little bit. Her plain coffee seems a little too plain, and she's noticing that Maria has kind of wormed her way into her everyday with the handwritten notes. And I feel like she would collect every coffee sleeve that Maria has written on. I kind of love the direction these characters went in. It's a very meet-cute storyline, and I'm really proud of the final designs. Despite not following the drawing prompt completely and forgetting a few details from references, like the buckles on Joey's shoes and such, I might have to draw them again in a scene inside the coffee shop and possibly extend their story a little bit because I got really inspired by it all. I think if you've been debating trying this challenge, I would recommend you do, because I would not have developed these characters the way they are without the prompts in place, and it was a lot of fun trying to like piece the references together cohesively while creating their story in relation to each other. It's a good way to get out of a creative rut too, because a lot of the decision making is done for you by the prompt generators. I hope you liked the video and the story, and please go check out the original artist challenge linked in the description. And as always, thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye!